Hey everyone, it's CC, and I just did a video where I kind of did a throwback of the Tarte Man-Eater palette on my eyes. But what I really wanted to do today was bring you along for the Becca products and a Get Ready With Me that I got in the TSV last week, and I posted that video. Since I've been using that foundation, I've really been impressed. I used it twice. The first time I came to after 4 or 5 hours, I can't remember, and I said I don't feel like I need to touch up. Everything is staying well on my skin. And then I wrote in the comments that I think it was around 5 hours. It's before I was going to work. I work a couple evenings a week. That I felt like I needed to touch up for the foundation. I was a little bit oily. I just started to see, a little bit of foundation on my glasses, and wanted everything to be fresh for work. But I wore it Saturday, and I work all day on Saturday, and I didn't touch up. And then I'm sitting at home late at night and I'm like, I didn't touch up. Let's take out my camera, my cell phone camera, and take a selfie. And I did. And I was like, wow, this looks pretty darn good. So I put it on Instagram, and I'm just, I'm still testing it out, but I'm just really impressed with, these products. So I did my eyes in the Tarte Man-Eater palette, and I just put, which is usually a step in my makeup routine. So I've already moisturized, my skincare, I'll tell you. I exfoliate in the morning. I use a serum. I use the Josie Maran Argan Oil. I use a moisturizer, usually 2 layers, and today it was both First Aid Beauty and the It Cosmetics Confidence in a Cream. So I use that. And then, I let that soak in when I'm doing stuff upstairs, cooking dinner or whatever. And then I usually come down here and I use this Tarte Maracuja oil. Sometimes I also have this Smashbox Primer Oil sample. Just depending. Sometimes I don't use either, but that's what I just, sorry. I'm going to stand up real quick here because I didn't get my products out. But that's what I am going to, shoot, I hope I got that right. Okay, it's not bad. Not too bad. So I'm going to start with the Becca First Light Priming Filter Primer. And a slightly larger size came in the TSV, but this is the one that I had open. This is 0.2 ounces, I think. 0.2 ounces. The one in the TSV was 0.5 ounces. And I feel a lot comes out of that little tube. I barely have to squeeze it. But I wanted to show you how this, so here, that's how it goes on the skin. I was kind of dotted around. But as soon as you start rubbing it in, and I like to get it under my eyes, it really does just disappear. And I feel like one of my favorite primers has been, for the last year or two, has been the Backlight Priming Filter from Becca, and that's the, that's this one. It's very shimmery, and it gives your skin a glow, but a shimmery glow. This one, I feel like, gives your skin a glow, but just, just enough of a glow that just makes your skin look healthy. So, as I normally don't do this, this is not normally the steps of my makeup, but I have no brows, and I usually don't do them first, but I'm just kind of letting all this products, settle on my face. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of a brow, and then I can always touch up. I've really lost lost some of my brows. And I don't do this often, but I did it before Christmas, and I'm always so happy when I do. I got them threaded. I just try to keep, everything, the upkeep in between. And I don't know, it's never as good, even though I don't feel like I don't really have enough brow heads to go ahead and get threaded again. But anyway, the brow pencil I use is from Stroke of Beauty. It's from Holly Mordini and one of the Factor guys who owns Smashbox, and she's, I think, still on Evine. So we're gonna go ahead with the Becca Ultimate Coverage Complexion Cream, and this is the shade Shell. I mentioned that I had both Shell and Cashmere, and this is Shell, and it works very well for my complexion right now. I don't tend to really tan or get much color in the summer, but occasionally I'll put a little bit of normally I don't even put foundation in my nose. Occasionally I'll get a little bit of a, what's that called? Not self tanner, gradual tanner, and I'll put that on. So I watched videos, and one was Coffee Break with Dani. When this product first came out, it was like 2 or 3 years ago, and she did a review on it, and so did Emily Noel. Those are the ones that I saw, and I was kind of looking at them before I ordered this. And I wasn't totally convinced, but I still wanted to try it. But Coffee Break with Dani actually said, you really need to work with this quickly. It dries down quick. So, the plan was to not dot it all over my face, but I think I can work with it quick and well. So, I don't know if you can tell, but I've never really had a full coverage foundation on my skin. I use the Estee Lauder Double Wear, but I use a beauty blender, and I don't feel like I get a major full coverage, which I wouldn't mind trying one day, but I've just never gotten that out of my own makeup application. It just has never happened for me. Isn't that kind of funny? So that's what I get. And I use one pump. I never use really more than that. That one squirted out a little bit, like air was in the pump, so I gave myself, like a little quarter of a pump more. And then I just wipe off the extra, which there tends to be quite a bit. So I don't use a whole lot of foundation on my skin, and I don't go for, I guess, the super cool full coverage, because anytime there's been any kind of, like just blending a little bit, anytime there's ever been any kind of caking, I just don't like that, so never really tried it. But currently my two favorite foundations are the Estee Lauder Double Wear, and I'll wear that for really special occasions because I feel like it really bonds to your skin, and lasts well. But this is totally giving it a run for it, as well as the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. Yeah, definitely. So this is Becca Opal right in the corner of my eyes. That came in the kit as well. Kind of opens it up a little bit, I think. So I always set my foundation, always. I've never not set it. I don't know what it's like to not set it. I'm a little afraid to not set it. But I almost think I could. Alright, so under eye concealer, we're going to pull out this Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. And I think you can see it's a shiny formula. Thick. Just use a little bit. Let's see if we can see a difference from one eye to the other. Now I notice on this side, on my right side, if I put especially this or any kind of thicker concealer, the Kat Von D, the Tarte, anything, if I put it down in here, I can really see those pores. And I can see that I did get it down there a little bit. Let's see. Okay, so with the under eye brightening corrector, without, I think I can see a difference. Never kind of done one of those things with me. Hopefully you guys aren't tired of hearing about this foundation, or from me, because it's probably going to be my everyday foundation. So yeah, I can really just dip your finger in once and it's good for both eyes. So I do that, and then I just pull out my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. You guys, I've had this. There's still like that much. Can you see? I don't know. Yeah, about that much left in there. I've had this for 2 years, possibly 3. And I just use this e.l.f. small tapered brush. Dip it in there lightly. Just use a little bit. And just lightly sweep it over my under eye. I know I've heard people like Emily Noel say that that's not their favorite under eye corrector, but it works well for me. I tried the Benefit Erase Paste. The color wasn't a good match for me because of my fairness and my natural skin tone, as well as, I don't know, it just didn't work. It creased. Just wasn't good for me. But this one is. And this isn't necessarily supposed to be full coverage like the Tarte, but I feel like it gives me a nice natural look. And this is the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores setting powder. And it just works really well for me. So we still have a couple minutes, and I'm going to just kind of finish up with the It Cosmetics bronzer from this palette. They have a couple different palettes out, and this is the one, that I've had for quite a long time. I've used the setting powder in it. It was the Bye Bye Pores Pressed. And just give myself a little bit of color with the bronzer. I'm going to go in with because we're staying with Becca, I'm going to use the Becca blush. And I use the one in the center, the Songbird. So I'm just going to grab the mauve shade, Wisteria, today. My eyes are kind of more neutral, but favorite color from the palette. And the other color on the end there is great for spring, summer. But we are not in spring, summer here. How about you guys? We are not in spring, summer. We had my daughter and I went to the gym last night, and yeah, came home to pretty bad roads. And the gym is not that super close to me. It's about a 14-minute drive, which isn't awful. I don't know what I'm looking for is, but I'm gonna just apply this Becca Opal. I mentioned I feel like this is slightly dark for my skin, but we're gonna buff it in really well.